What's the most bizarre way you've earned money? My mother rented me and my sister out to grieving families to pretend to be their dead daughters for thousands of dollars per week. I was 12 when I did my first assignment pretending to be a drowned girl named Amy. Her parents dressed me in clothes that still smelled like lake water and made me sit through family dinners where they'd quiz me on her memories I'd been forced to learn. My sister was 14 and had already done this for 2 years. Mom would drill us for weeks before each assignment, making us practice the dead girls' laugh and memorize their diary entries. Mom had 3 rules that she beat into us: never break character, never contact anyone during assignments, and never tell the truth. She'd drop us off with a suitcase and pick us up when the family was done with us or couldn't pay anymore. Between assignments, we lived in this crappy motel where she'd immediately start training us for the next dead girl. She had contacts at funeral homes who'd slip her photos and info about desperate families. The directors got a cut for every referral. By 16, I'd been 12 different dead girls. Some families wanted me for days, others for months. They'd test me on diary entries and sob when I recited them perfectly. "Remember when you wrote this about that boy from chemistry?" they'd ask, and I'd have to describe feelings I'd never felt about someone I'd never met. I kept a count of girls I'd been scratched into the motel bathroom cabinet. 47 marks by the time I turned 17. I tried escaping 4 times over the years. First time I just walked out during an assignment, but the family caught me 3 blocks away and dragged me back thinking their daughter was having another breakdown. Mom had given them emergency contacts and a whole story about mental illness. She picked me up early and punished me by making me sleep in the car trunk for a week. Second time I made it to a bus station, but Mom had reported me as a runaway. The cops brought me straight back to the family who installed locks on my windows. Third time I tried climbing down from a 2nd-story window using bed sheets. The sheets tore and I broke my ankle in the fall. The family found me crawling across their lawn, and Mom convinced them their daughter had attempted suicide. They put me on constant watch, and Mom started lacing my food to keep me docile. 4th time I saved up the sedatives and took them all at once, hoping the hospital would help me. But Mom showed up with fake medical power of attorney papers and took me back the second I was stable. After that, she started making me wear a GPS tracker sewn into my clothes. Between assignments, Mom's punishments got more creative. She'd make us practice being dead by lying still for hours. If we moved, she'd hit us with wire hangers until we learned to stay corpse still. She'd scream that we were worthless without our dead girls, that nobody would want the real us. My sister started hurting herself, and Mom just said to do it where the families wouldn't see. She stopped talking even between assignments. We were both ghosts pretending to be ghosts. I started forgetting my own name sometimes and would panic trying to remember who I really was. Then came the walkers. Their daughter Lily had died falling down the stairs, but something felt wrong the second I saw her photos. Bruises that didn't match the fall. A scared look in her eyes even when she was smiling. Mom noticed too, but took the job anyway because they were paying triple her usual rate. Mr. Walker met us at the door, and the way he looked at me in Lily's clothes made my skin crawl. "Perfect," he said, handing Mom an envelope thick with cash. "She's absolutely perfect." Mrs. Walker was sedated out of her mind at dinner, barely conscious. Mr. Walker made me sit in Lily's exact spot and tested me on everything: her favorite foods, her friends' names, the way she held her fork. When I got something wrong, he grabbed my wrist hard enough to leave marks. "Lily would never forget that," he said, his fingers digging in deeper. Mrs. Walker just stared at her plate, hands shaking. That night, I found Lily's real diary hidden behind her dresser, not the edited one Mom had given me to study. The entries were terrifying. Years of her dad getting worse, more controlling, more violent. The final entry was dated the night before she died. "He knows I'm planning